I'm going to throw you out the window now. Among the best quotes from The Amazing Spider-Man the movies, "I'm going to kick you out the window now" works well because it checks two specific boxes. What worked the most The Amazing Spider-Man duology was the chemistry between Stone and Garfield. They also worked when they embraced their silliness. A mixed earthly approach with a giant lizard or electric blue man. The streak works because it's coming from anyone other than Spider-Man. It's going to be threatening, not flirtatious. I was wrong about you. While he is not one of the Amazing Spider-Man the most lovable main character in the beginning, Dennis Leary, George Stacy, is just as important to the development. Of Garfield as Spider-Man as Sally Fields Mays Ant or Ben Martin Sheen. While this line is not spoken by Spidey himself, it is among the portion of the monologue that sets Parker on the path of intense inner conflict that will continue all the way. Spider-Man, there is no room for home. Hey, you're not nobody. You're somebody. The key to Garfield's Spider-Man is empathy. The best example of this comes as he interacts with Max Dillon, aka Electro. Before turning into an electric being, Dillon appeared via a web crawler and exchanged dialogue. "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Spider-Man asks. "You are Spider-Man." Dillon replies. "Honestly," Parker says, "the costumes really pull it off, don't they? They look really important, Max," referring to Max's schemes. Then Dillon asks, "How do you know my name?" and Spider-Man replies that the name is on his badge. But then Dillon said, "I'm in denial." Parker/Spider-Man's response is indicative of what makes the character work. "Hey, you're not a den. You're someone." Spider-Man builds people up, not frustrates them. That laugh, that's cool. The most effective ingredient in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's the same thing that was made The Amazing Spider-Man click, Peter Parker's relationship with Gwen Stacy. The rest feels like a low-rent version of the worst aspects of the Raimi trilogy, in particular Spider-Man 3, but at least it restores their dynamics, which was superior to the chemistry demonstrated by Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. The phrase "that laugh, that's cool," it comes when Parker and Stacy discuss whether they are friends or more while eating back and forth. No one seems to understand the concept of a mask. Best Andrew Garfield Spider-Man action scenes involve the character's clever mouth. This line of dialogue is another line in a series of the kidnapping scene. The first time Garfield appears as Spider-Man in his full suit after covering up the bad guy, a cop carries his service weapon on Spider-Man. The officer asks who he is and Parker replies, "No one seems to." understand the concept of a mask. It's also a nice bit of gnomon of Parker's turbulent relationship with Captain Stacy. You should see the other guy. The other guy, in this case, is a giant mutant lizard. Much of the humor that Garfield brought to the role was steeped in sarcasm. The orchid itself is one of the weakest aspects of the Amazing Spider-Man, but at least it provides Parker with any number of banter about his hideous nature. Related, 9 ways Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy were double targets in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. The best is not directed at Connors as much as Gwen Stacy is said. She asks what happened to him, considering that he is covered in scars and stammering blood. Parker replied, "You should see the other guy. The other guy, in this case, is a giant mutant lizard." You are wrong about us being on different paths. We are not on different paths. You are my way. And you will always be my way. While he is among the Amazing Spider-Man 2 most memorable moment, Gwen Stacy's heartbreaking death, it is also the core of the film's narrative. Everything in the plot leads to this shock. Parker's love for Stacy is most prevalent in Garfield's line Spider-Man movies, and as seen in the first, it's double the second. The statement "you're wrong about us going different paths. We're not on different paths. You're my way. And you'll always be mine." He points to this, and it's a devastating prelude to the microphone drop from the film's third act. Really? Do you seriously think I'm a policeman? In a tight red and blue suit. Car theft is probably the best scene in the first scene The Amazing Spider-Man, if only how far Garfield is distinguished from Maguire. Spidey from Garfield is ready to sit in the back seat of the car in the middle of being broken into. After the thief tried to start the ignition, Parker says he made himself known. The man asks if Parker is a policeman, to which Parker replies, "Really? Do you seriously think I am a policeman?" In a tight red and blue suit.